Okay, welcome back. Make sure the mic's in the right spot. So in the last video, we were finished making the lighthouse. We were doing all sorts of extrusions and shape shifting and working on vertex and edges and faces and all that jazz. Hate to say that like that. Um, just a reminder, let's redo the, let's see if I can do the lighthouse. I'll I'll put it I'll put it over here. So G, not that, X. All right, so I'm gonna put it way over there, and let me see if I can make it again with kind of remembering the tools from the edit. So Shift A for a mesh, and then a cylinder, and then these vertices we have to make sure that they are divisible by 4 because it's easier to cut them up and mirror them on either side depending on a different number. I remember that it stayed at 16. I'm at vertices. I'm going to go to faces. First thing I'm going to do is I don't need that view. Reminder is number pad 1, number pad 3, number pad 7. All right, so I am going to have it be at 1 up here in the top because these new objects, they're always 2 meters. And then, okay, last look there. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the move tool, Z, and then bring it down a little bit. I don't want it. Last look. There we go. Okay. They actually had it up a little bit higher. All right, it's going to be there. Okay. First thing we can do, and it's actually easier to do it with the, let's see, is it insert faces, I believe. Yeah. So there was another way we did this where it was, let's see, it was like G. So we're holding on to it. So G, then it was S. Oh, let me see here. Was it, here we go. G, let's do E. So extrude, but it's just S. Bring that in, and then E again. Okay. So that works, but this insert faces is like specifically meant for stuff like this, so that is a lot easier to do. I would do it that way. And then extrude. I'm not going to look at it anymore. I just remember I'll make like, so it was like that. Take another look. Yep. Okay. Then another one where I'm pressing S for the scale. Don't worry about if it looks kind of weird like that. Extrude up, and then insert faces, which is also I. E extrude up, and then E extrude up. We're going to have, well, extrude up, and then we're going to make, let me see, is it 0? Yes. So so I'm at scaling, so you can type in the number that you want to scale it as. So like if I do, if I do times 10 like that, let's see here. Let's see what happens with, so I think, yeah, okay. So like 2 is twice as much. So it's not like a degrees situation. So 0 is going to bring it all together like that. And that's my final answer. That, oh, it had one more ridge. So let's bring this down. And then I remember with a note, it had like alt left click. I couldn't get that to work. I don't know why. Is that the right one? Yes. So what I can do is wireframe mode, and I can select, let's see, should be able to select them. There. And then I can bring it, let's see, is it, shoot. I gotta remember it. Let me see. It was here. Was it? Okay, so I have it all. Was it extrude S? No. I think I'm gonna go and look at the previous video at the very, very end just to see how he does it. But just keep in mind that I have not been able to figure out how to like highlight all the faces unless I highlight it this way. All right, so let's. All right, I'm going through it fast. I'm kind of happy that I was pretty close. Let's see. Yep, so okay. I'm just seeing what he says. I know it's sorry, it's not exciting. As of now, okay, there's not really a way. So the easiest way for this is that let's make sure this is all attached. Okay, so, and we'll put it back here. E for extrude. So extrude out, actually E, and then S to change the scale, make it go farther out. And then remember, if you hold shift, it goes slower. Not holding shift like that. All right, let's see. Holding shift a little bit easier there, and then extrude out again so it looks normal. Insert faces over here, which is also I, about there. Extrude out again, and then having the faces at 0 or the scale at 0 makes it. All right, I am going to delete this. That's kind of a test. Now this next one, they said making a rocky base. Okay, so let's put this guy. Okay, so he's hiding the houses. And we're making a rocky, so it's like kind of like a lighthouse. How you picture a lighthouse, kind of on an island. That's what this looks like to me. So that's what we're going to do here. So first thing, okay. Okay, so he's going to add a plane like plane like a floor. Okay, hold up. Now I'm normal. Sorry, I'm not looking at my phone. Okay, so Shift A, mesh plane, which is a ground. I'm gonna guess he wants me to extend this up a little bit farther, which I did. Remember, I can always scale it over here too. Yep. 30 times. Okay. So I can do. I know there's probably a way to change them all at once, but we did that. Okay. Perfect. Okay, we're doing sculpting now. Okay. He Okay, and he's hiding the lighthouse too. Okay, so we're sculpting it. Sculpting workplace. Ooh, okay. So we had object mode, edit mode. Now we're in sculpt mode. Ooh, you see how that... Okay. Okay, you can tell, so I'm holding down the left click button with that. So I think it's vertice only. It doesn't look like I can pull on specific faces or edges, at least for this brush right now. Looks like there's a whole lot of brushes that probably do certain things like I just said. Ooh, blob. Okay. Okay, changing the brush size is F. Okay, that's important. And it shows. Okay. Or I'm just going to do F. Let's see his intensity, because mine... Okay, his one's like 300. Let's see, his is 300. Strength. Strength is at like 0.5, it looks like. Add, normal radius, 0, 0. Everything else is... So, yeah, it looks a little bit easier. It's like I can only... So, like, I can pull on it, but then I have to, like, go back over it. So what's this called? Draw. Okay, so it's not... There's going to be brushes that are like a pull, I assume. Let's do strength farther. Let's see. There, I kind of like that. I'm trying to copy how... Now, that one end is very spiky. So this end looks good. This end looks kind of... This end looks gross. I'm gonna see how... So let me make sure I have the right brush. His intensity is like at 0.5. I'm gonna copy everything he does. It is what it is. Everything else over here looks the same. Let me see how he pulls. Let's see. Okay, so he's going more this, which makes sense for it to be a base kind of an island. Okay, that works for me. Or maybe a little. I don't want it to be a perfect. And then remember F. Now he says Shift F for the power. Oh yeah, so the strength right there. So if you can tell, strength is at 1, that's at 1. So F is just the size of the brush, and Shift F is the size and the intensity. For me, I feel like changing the... let's see. Yeah, okay. So this just changes the strength. It's not changing the size. But let's keep it at 0.5. Okay, he's talking to me still about different sculpting. Okay, I like my little... Let me get rid of the light. Okay. Die top. Ooh. Ooh, let me see how... So this is adding more faces to it. And if we can easily tell in edit mode. Just realize it's going to have more weight to it, more... It's going to be a larger file. Oh, you have to do it every time. He says copy his shape. I am not copying. Okay, I want to make... See, I'm picturing the lighthouse like right there. And then maybe, maybe I'll just pull on these a little bit. Because I don't want it to look like... I don't want it to look all gummy. Yeah, I actually kind of want some sharp spots to it. This... I don't know what this is turning out to be. Let's do that. And let's add more down here. Let's see, do I like that one? Do I want the lighthouse up here or here? I'm eventually... Oh, it looks almost like I could call it Turtle Bay. There. That's perfect. Okay. Now he's saying stuff about this. Okay. So he's... Okay, so if it's this, that means the closer I am, the more detail it's going to give. Constant means higher, no matter how much I zoom in, it's going to give you the same amount of detail. So this one is consistent. Detail size smaller, the more finer it is. Um, I don't know. I'll mess with this when the time comes. I'm not adding any more of this rock. Ooh. Okay. So I can hold control, and that causes it to push downward into it. I like that. It's looking a little bit more, so I can kind of go up and down. I don't want it to get too like a piece of gum. Maybe give a little bit more topology so it's a little easier for the lighthouse to kind of. Ooh, that looks like a king turtle. Okay, and I'm gonna keep it like that for right now. So no alt, no control, it keeps building up. Hold down control, pushes it back down. Undo, undo. Okay, there's a whole lot of brushes. Eventually we'll get into it. Uh-oh. Now, if I hold down shift, it's gonna smooth it. Look at that. So it smooths out to make sure like they all have the same. Ooh, do I? Uh, do I want this? Let me see here. Do I want it like this? And once again, the more polygons, the bigger the file size. So if you're going into like game design or something, keep that in mind. All right, I'm keeping it like this. Holy, okay. Look at all the. Oh dear. Okay, this is adding faces and that, and some of these are not gonna add. It's gonna like push and pull. So the next one he's doing is grab. So this, so it's not adding. So it's like pinching and pulling. Ooh, do I want that? Maybe. So this is adding. So it looks like if there's a little arrow, that means it's not adding. It looks like if there's not an arrow, it's adding. This looks like it's drawing on it. Uh, this this looks like it's boundaries. All right, grab 2D. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of these. I'm not gonna go through them right now. Okay, do I like how this looks? Yeah. Let's see, control. I want to try to flatten this out a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's perfect. I don't care on how smooth it is. I kind of like it. Or this, yeah. Okay, and he's just doing more squeezing. I'm just going to wait for him because it looks like I'm going to be adding the little houses and the lighthouse to it. And I am ready to go. I'm ready for that. Okay. Now he wants no overlapping areas. I think we're good. I don't think we have it. So just a reminder, so when we're doing the drawing, when we are holding, well, so if it doesn't have this, we're basically pulling on it. We're not adding topology, we're not adding polygons. So if you can see as I'm pulling up, there's less detail. You can see kind of the polygon shapes. If I hold down control as I do this, I'm sinking back in to it. And then if I hold down shift, I'm smoothing it out to the best of my ability. So as you see, the more I do, the more polygons you can see, but they're not adding, they're just like taking, see, do I want that? Ooh, do I want that? I'm gonna do undo. I'm gonna do undo a few. Now let's do, so I think it's Control Shift Z. Now let's see what redo is. Redo Shift Control. Okay. Excuse me. Shift Control Z. Okay, do I want that? I kind of. Let's do. Let's do that. Let's just take a little bit off over here. Maybe have it where we're actually smoothing it. Okay. Oh, it looks like a little heart. Perfect. And let's see if he has. Oh, okay. He's not ready to. So this is mine. Some parts are smooth, some parts are a little jagged, but I like it. So as we know, the more polygons you have, the bigger the file, and sometimes you don't need that. If you go to that famous toothbrush asset from Yandere Simulator, they have like each bristle has its own thing. So it's like way too much poly count, way too big of a file. So it looks like we're going to be using a modifier called decimate. We're going to, okay, modifiers down here. Okay. Of course. Oh, he wants a little bit of all of that. Okay, add modifier. Okay. Okay. Is this under desk generate? Ooh, there's a whole bunch here. There. So this one's going to take away polygons. Oh, just that. Kind of looks like a PS1 thing when they move around. Okay. I like... Yeah, I like that. I like how there's a little thing under there where, I don't know, weird swimmers can get lost in the caverns. Okay. It did that. Oh, okay. So if I want to get rid of this modifier completely, just exit. It's what it is. So original, what this modifier is. And then we can have multiple modifiers, not just one. Boy, he's only got 100 face counts. I got 500. Is my island too big? Doesn't matter. I like it. I do think I need to put it in just a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. Or a little bit. Okay, he was... Now I'm here. So now it's officially done. Okay. I do not like that little guy, but whatever. There's that little... Okay. So applying it makes it, like, official. Come on, I want to put the tiny houses on it. I think this island's pretty good. And then once again, if I want to go to sculpting and I want to mess with it, if I want to add or subtract polygons, I enable this. If I want to mess with it without changing the poly count, it's just as is. And now with layout, you can also realize if you go to edit mode, you can individually mess with these. Proportional edit. He likes this tool. Okay, so if I do this proportional edit, it's affecting the vertices that are around it and not just... So if I did not have that on and did the same thing, the other vertices just kind of stay where they are at. So this one's kind of... Okay. And then you can change... Ooh, random. Okay, so I think this is a little bit more topology than he has. but whatever. I like it. It's not, I mean, if you look at games nowadays, I think I'll be okay. All right, so we're still okay. Now he's talking about snapping, so I may have to decimate this a little bit more to to have the other houses in that fit. Whoa, whoa. All right, and I always like to keep. You can like drag stuff from the top, moving it to the left to like get rid of views. But for me, I kind of like having the animation thing too on the bottom, just because. I'm gonna rename this as the lighthouse. Okay. Well, I'm moving these, and then okay. Sorry, I'm trying to listen to him. I shall not listen. So let's move this. So I'm doing G and I'm doing Shift Z so it stays on the top of the plane. Oh, even though they're all kind of inside the plane the same exact way. I'm okay with that. And then what I'm gonna do, actually, no, I'm okay with that. I was gonna like proportional do the same scale on both, but this lighthouse is theoretically a lot smaller than it should be. Let's let's see here. I want to like right there, like it's the eye of the duck. Make it a little bit bigger. Uh, G for the grab, Z to move it up, and then maybe to move it a little bit over. How does that? I'll go into here. Ooh, or full render. Oh, I think I turned off the lights. There are the lights. That's dramatic. Okay, let's go back to this one. I think the size works. So let's now take all of these houses. I'll just do it that way. And then we're going to, let's see, is that good enough? A little bit smaller. Like there. There we go. This is perfect. So I'm being a rebel. I'm not doing it the shape he has it. Now, he kind of wants. Well, no, whatever. I'm doing it my way. Okay. He wants, trying to understand what he's trying to say here. Okay. He wants like an individual. So let's get rid of, actually, yeah, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. And which one do I like more between those three? Let's get rid of that. We'll keep these four. Okay. So move these two. Oh, one, two, G, and then Y. And then we're going to place them around the island, kind of where we want them to be. And let's see. Yeah, I kind of want, it'll get close, but not too close. Because we're going to be working on snapping physically to the island. And then do I? No, I want the tall house on the bottom here. Okay. I am waiting for him. Hopefully everyone's doing well today. I am too. I have going back to daily uploads. My new project I want to make with this um, Blender thing is a bowling animation that you would see at a bowling alley. Okay, so this is going to be snapping. This is increment. I'm going to guess he's going to say face. Might be wrong. Yeah, so increment is going to be more to the grid rather than objects. Oh, okay. So increment, that's actually very good. Increment is going to keep it where it starts. Then it's going to move it in an increment. Grid is going to be literally like on the actual grid. It's going to move it so it's right on the grid. And then from there, move it within the grid increments. For me, it seems like moving it. I don't know. I guess it takes. I guess either way works in certain situations. I feel like for me right now, having it attached right to the grid might be a little bit easier to deal with. That's just me. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so now if I, for some reason, want to just look at one object and now the other ones go away, go to view, toggle local view, number pad, I don't have a number pad. So there. And then let's see if I toggle it off, everything goes back. Okay, so if you have that shortcut, if you have a number pad, that seems like something that would be beneficial. Because let me see here, toggle logo view, and then I could mess, let's just, I want to see if I can mess with it. Can I mess with it? Oh, this is snapping. Okay. So like with the snapping, it's not just movement, it's like everything. What kind of increments they are, I'm not sure on how to do that exactly. I think you have to change what the grid is, but I'm not going to get into that. and toggle back local view so it stays. Okay. There. Back to normal. Back to normal. Okay. No. He was just doing this as an example. So if I have the object, this is top down, and I have it snapping, and I have it with increments, you can kind of see a little bit of the snapping. It's not too, so see how it's kind of, it's a little bit, you can kind of feel the chunkiness of it. If I do to the grid, it's gonna, if you can tell now, it's snapping like, so it's matching up exactly. So if I had this object placed where it was like halfway between one of these blocks, it would stay halfway between one of those blocks, like how this is. But right now I know a little bit of it. I don't know enough about it to have like a good reason to have it for right now, but I know that will be important in the future. Okay, so he's gonna do, okay. I'm gonna make this a lot more tiny, so okay. So the object origin, I'm gonna guess that the dot is gonna be on the bottom. So if it's like closest, it might snap to the corners, but center, it's gonna even it out on the in the full center of the object. So we're gonna change the object's origin. Okay. Let's move the object origin. Come on, my guy. He's telling me. Oh, yes. Okay, two ways. Options. Oh. It's okay, he wants, well, okay. Yep, we have to make sure this is off before we start taking the object. Let's, okay. So I can see, so it's gonna be like, when it comes to some crazy angle, I'll find a way to do it. It's probably gonna have something to do with rotation. but for right now, I think we're going to stop there. There's more for this. We're not quite done with this yet, but to be honest, I'm hungry and I'm losing focus a little bit. So instead of him and Han, I'm gonna I'm gonna eat and come back. But I think we got through a lot today, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. All right, and always if there's questions, put them in the bottom. I'll try to figure it out. It'll benefit both of us. I'm still a little bit. I would love for this to snap to like really steep, so it almost looks like that. But I don't. I'm not sure on how that would work just now. All right. So we'll see you next time. Take care here. Bye.